The Auditor-General says in the past 5 years, little change has occurred in municipalities. And there are still many issues with regards to accountability and good governance. Of the 257 municipalities audited, only 16 improved, 45 regressed, and 33 received clean audits. The AG, Kimi Makwetu, joins us now from our Cape Town studios. Good evening, Mr. Makwetu. Thank you very much for talking to us this evening. 5 years later, you say, we are still faced with the same accountability and governance challenges we had flagged throughout the years. From your reading, why?
Thank you very much, Vuyo, and good evening to the viewers. I think the stuff we are reflecting on in this report, Vuyo, is with regards to how all 257 municipalities have adhered to financial management disciplines. And what we are reading in respect of the reversals is the extent to which some of those that were doing better before have slipped back, while a few have tried to gain some traction in respect of getting better outcomes for financial management. So what you're looking at also in terms of the clean audit ones are the ones that have been cleared by the Auditor-General in respect of all areas that we test, in respect of the strength of the financial management disciplines. So it's a drop in the ocean, if you may. But what it also tells us is that the transparency with which financial management is experienced in municipalities is also starting to show a very strenuous pressure that is being put on the financial resources of these municipalities, which means that in future, if many of them are not already in that situation, there is going to be a battle for them to pay for their suppliers on certain contracts and certain activities that they undertake, because they have not taken good care of this money when they were spending it, and in certain instances they were not collecting all the revenue that was due to them from respective consumers, including corporate ones.
Well, let's start perhaps with what you said also earlier during that briefing, that when you highlighted a lot of things in 2013, which were of course outcomes of the 2011-2012 municipal audit outcomes, among other things you cited, and I quote, a lack of leadership to address the lack of accountability by ensuring consequences against those who flouted basic processes that hampered effective municipal governance. Now, who are these people who should have shown decisive leadership?
If you look at the structure of accountability of a basic municipality, it's got a council, which are the elected representatives of that municipality. And often it is led by a mayor, who is the person representing those that are elected by the citizens of the municipality. In the process of accounting for the funds that have been appropriated to them as a council, they delegate their responsibilities to a municipal manager who has a team of senior managers who are supposed to translate plans of the municipality into activities that are funded through the budget. It is a collective of those people primarily that we are referring to, because part of what they need to safeguard is the manner in which these monies are being handled, so that when they get reported to about the achievement of certain projects, take an example, if they were to build a bridge between two villages, the one way they would know that this bridge is worth what they claim it is when those key people in that council take steps to interact with those that are implementing these programs on their behalf, and be able to point out areas where, when they physically go to inspect these programs, they normally find that they are stops and starts, but they do nothing about it in most instances. That's the kind of leadership that we are calling on, because it's people who are in the municipality on a daily basis, performing both executive and oversight functions.
Well, I mean, if you know what what officials often say about what is in many instances typical behavior of elected officials, we're talking here about councillors, including obviously mayors. It is that these are the people who actually take decisions and who lean on officials, forcing them to take decisions that they either shouldn't be taking or shouldn't be taking the way they are being instructed. Now, when you look at when you audit these municipalities, where in what you look into and what you see and what you bring as outcomes on a day like today, do those things manifest themselves?
You see, Vuyo, when you look at an environment that has got this kind of disciplines, one of the things that you find is a place where there is a clear segregation of duties. This is the ideal world, where somebody who has not been given that mandate to implement a program does not have to issue instructions about how this particular program or where this particular contract must be awarded, because they will be conflicted. Think about a situation where they have to come back and appraise the performance of the project managers, including the municipal manager, on how they implemented that program. How are they going to react when they get told that you are the one who gave the instruction for it to happen this way? Now, if you want to have a culture of accountability, you have to enforce that discipline. Otherwise, if that discipline is not in place, then the ones who start doing wrong will naturally be followed by those that were watching it happen. Because they are the ones who see the accounting records, they are the ones who see the invoices. The people in the organization, once that culture becomes entrenched, they also change. And that's why in certain places you find that where there is a tolerance for disclaimers of opinion, meaning that the auditors were none the wiser even after they requested information, you find a situation where everybody starts dabbling into the stuff and nobody can account for any transaction. Either the invoices are lost or there's nobody who knows what happened to it. That's what we are trying to avert with this type of campaign, to make sure that there is transparency when it comes to reporting and that people do what they are instructed to do in accordance with the laws that govern financial management.
Well, we'll continue with the Auditor-General Kimi Makwetu when we return. This is As It Happens.